I walked past the cafe, my hands trembling, the manila envelope burning against my thigh. Inside were the divorce papers I had drafted 2 nights ago. Papers I never thought I'd have to deliver personally. But seeing her with him today, laughing like I didn't exist, left me no choice. Her hair caught the sunlight, bouncing with every tilt of her head, and he leaned in closer, brushing her shoulder. My chest tightened. I could feel every heartbeat like a hammer. The smell of freshly ground coffee mixed with warm pastries assaulted me as I stepped closer to the window. My reflection in the glass looked foreign, pale, hollow-eyed, and furious. I had married Jessica 7 years ago. At first, it was easy, funny text in the morning, her humming in the kitchen while I made coffee, movie nights with too much popcorn. But over the last year, small things started breaking. She stopped replying to my jokes, started closing her laptop whenever I walked into the room. Late-night phone calls, disappearing for hours without explanation. And then last week, I found the messages. Short, flirty, and deliberately erased the second I walked by. I rehearsed my words in my head as I entered the cafe. Jessica, we need to talk. That had been my plan. But my stomach churned when I saw them together. So intimate it felt like they were mocking me. I leaned against the doorframe, gripping the envelope. My hand smelled faintly of paper and coffee, and the noise of the cafe, the clatter of cups, the low hum of conversation, seemed unreal distant. I wanted to shout, to tear through the illusion of their happiness. But I didn't. I waited. A laugh. Her laugh. My heart sank. Then she looked up and our eyes met. For half a second, I saw the woman I thought I knew, the one who had promised forever, but was gone, replaced by someone I barely recognized, someone I had to confront with these papers in my hand. I stepped forward. The doorbell chimed. And just as I was about to speak, he leaned back, and I realized something I wasn't prepared for. I cleared my throat, trying to steady the tremor I couldn't hide. Jessica, we need to talk. Her eyes flickered, a flash of guilt or maybe fear. Too quick to read. He smiled, oblivious of the storm building behind her gaze. Hey, babe, this is... He started, but she interrupted, her hand tightening around his. This is my husband, she said, and the words hit me like a punch to the chest. Husband, past tense in her voice, though she didn't know I'd realized it. I felt the envelope, heavy and accusing, in my hand. I could hear every heartbeat in my ears as I stepped closer. The smell of his cologne, cheap and sharp, mixed with her perfume, familiar yet alien. I cleared my throat again, louder this time. I delivered these, I said, pressing the envelope into her hands. She looked down, then back up, her eyes wide. He laughed nervously. Delivered what? Divorce papers, I said, and for the first time in months, I spoke without hesitation. Every word sliced through the air, cutting the illusion she had carefully built around herself. Her face paled. She stammered, but he stepped forward, protective, and the anger inside me surged. Protective? After everything? I watched as her phone buzzed. She glanced at it and my stomach sank. Another message, another name flashing across the screen. She tried to hide it, but the betrayal was out in the open now. Months of lies, stolen afternoons, late nights that didn't include me. Everything I'd felt, everything I'd suspected, crystallized in that moment. I wanted to scream, to shake her, to make her feel even a fraction of what I'd endured silently. But instead, I stayed calm, letting the weight of the truth settle between us. He looked at me, confused, angry, like he was a victim in this story. But I didn't flinch. I had seen the texts, the calls, the careful little lies. And now I had the proof, physically in her hands. Jessica's voice finally came out, trembling. Jim, I cut her off. Save it. I've already saved myself. And then she turned, running after him, leaving me standing in the middle of the cafe. I could feel every head in the room on me. But I didn't care. I had wanted the truth, and now I had it. But as the door closed behind her, a new, heavier question clawed at me. How do you say goodbye to someone you once trusted with your entire life? The cafe felt empty after they left, though people still murmured around me. I sank into a chair, the envelope now limp and heavy on the table. The aroma of coffee, once comforting, was now bitter, acrid, like the truth I'd just swallowed. My hands shook, but not from anger, from a hollow ache of realizing she had already moved on, while I'd been fighting for love that only existed in my memory. I thought about all the mornings we'd shared, the texts she used to send me just to make me smile, the jokes, the midnight talks, the way she once tucked her hand into mine. And now, nothing. A ghost of a life that once felt real. My phone buzzed. I ignored it. No message could change what I'd learned. Then I noticed a barista watching me curiously, a sympathetic glance, as if she could sense the storm that had passed. I laughed bitterly. Funny how strangers understand grief better than the people who caused it. I left the cafe slowly, stepping into the cold afternoon. The streets blurred around me, the world moving on while I felt suspended in a moment I couldn't escape. Every step echoed memories I no longer wanted. Every passerby seemed like a reflection of what could have been. Later, I drove to our apartment one last time, keys in hand. Empty rooms stared back at me, walls echoing laughter that no longer existed. I placed the envelope on the kitchen counter, a silent declaration. I didn't need to take anything else. She had already taken pieces of me with her, but I refused to let her take the rest. I paused in the living room, staring at the window where sunlight used to dance across our shared life. And in that quiet, I realized something profound. Betrayal hurts, yes, but the pain is also a teacher, forcing you to recognize your own strength. I walked out, closing the door gently, not looking back. I didn't need answers, apologies, or explanations. I had clarity, and that was enough. If you've ever been blindsided, betrayed, or forced to let go, remember this. Pain fades, resilience remains, and your life, your story, continues. If this story touched you, leave a comment with your thoughts and subscribe. Real stories like this deserve to be heard.